when I was in Phnom Penh in Cambodia with Tearfund back in 2005, we met with Craig Greenfield. He was living within the slums of the city alongside some amazing Cambodian people whom we spoke with and shared in ministry. And at the first meeting with Craig, we stood in the roof of the building, glanced out over the city. I looked out over the difficult places and just looked. So he wrote recently of the way the Gospels upturn the world that Jesus is born into. Jesus brings a subversive, parodying presence into what has been normal for people, normal people's lives. A way to see the world in upside down ways that speak to and against the powers of the land, and often the parables will do that. One definition of parody is this: an imitation of the style of a particular writer, artist or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. And during lockdown, some of the most effective parodies that I've seen came from Sarah Cooper. Just astonishingly simple stuff. She took the words of Donald Trump as president and simply mimed to them. And in a moment, the parody held together both the reality of the power and the mockery of that power in ways that they just stay in your mind. They're fantastic. They were brilliant in their conception and beautiful in their expression. Go see them on YouTube or TikTok or wherever you get your social media kicks. And I bring them up here because as parodies they have reshaped how to see things. When I see the ex-president, for instance, I see also the parodies of him speaking, the subversions, the turning upside down of his message, so that it is not the only story, the only way. There is another one. And when I read Revelation 13 at first, and if you want to go read it just now, you'll see the images are wild and the descriptions are fierce. Beasts with 10 heads, leopards and bears and lions, fatal wounds and yet alive. The vision that John is sharing here is vivid, but it's also a parody. And it begins to place in the minds and the hearts and the souls of those he speaks to a way to turn the world upside down. A way to look and see the mockery of the powers, those powers that seek to overcome God's creation towards other purposes, to other goals other than the glory of God. A mockery of those powers that seek their own glory and their own ends. And John's astonishing, glorious, powerful, amazing vision begins to give us new eyes to see those that would pretend to power are in such a vision as is here in chapter 13, such a parody. He maybe also gives us a language and maybe even a way to speak against those pretensions to power, even in dangerous times. A way to live towards God and be active in the wilderness. And that seems like a good starting point towards Sunday. Amen.